Alhamdulillah, the grind did not stop. What's the word? This gym be back. I got a boost of energy, so we gonna be right back at it. Lab work with Magneto, you heard. So if you were new to this is a new series I kind of want to start where I'll just learn new heroes, because at the end of the day, in order to get good in this game, you must learn a whole bunch of heroes, and you gotta be able to flex or swap to different players. I can swap to like maybe 15 different heroes so far, but especially in like these metas, because of the type of characters that the game is dropping. Like for example, Deadpool about to be a tank. Personally, I think this is all the rules, and I feel like it goes with his character because he was originally a DPS, but then they moved him to a tank. So I think probably like next week or the week, you know what I mean? Like weeks leading up, he might pop as a strategist or something like that, just to like kind of like, confuse the masses and stuff like that. I think that's what they doing. But at the end of the day, like, that's me going on a sidetrack rant, you heard. But I'm still very much excited for Deadpool. But going back to what I was saying, you gotta, like, with the new metas and the new different comps and basically just the characters that everybody's using, you gotta learn how to use their counters in order to actually win. You feel me? Because if not, you'll be like me and a whole bunch of other players stuck in whatever rank that you're stuck in and just getting a whole bunch of 50-50 win-lose because you're not forcing a win. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like in this game, like you dead ass gotta like force a win. Like you gotta like really like carry your team to victory, bro. And that leads me to my next point of like it's like when I say that, I don't mean like overdo it, because like it's a fine line, right? Because like you could try to play like, main character, I'm gonna carry all the team. Like if I'm a tank, I'm gonna get the most kills, most damage, fuck my DPS. If I'm a healer, I'm gonna sit there and get kills and get the most heals because I carry everything. Or if I'm DPS, I'm gonna overplay and stuff. And a lot of times when you try to do too much, you want to find yourself out of position, leaving yourself easier to get picked off and stuff like that. Trust me, you feel me? Like I'm guilty of it wholeheartedly. And that's the thing with this game, because this game rewards very aggressive playstyles. You know what I mean? Like it's very in your face, fast paced action. You gotta make a quick decision and stuff like that. Either my button mashing is better than yours because I know a combo, or you feel me? Or your button mashing is better than mine because your combo is stronger than mine. Your CC is stronger than mine. For those who don't know, CC is crowd control. Crowd control is your abilities. Like for example, Penny with her web snare, that's crowd control. You feel me? Wanda with her stun, that's crowd control. Neymar with that team up with Hela, that's crowd control. Hulk with his stun, crowd control. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's really based on who can mash the buttons the fastest and which CC is going to be better. And with that being said, we see a fluctuation in the skill gap depending on which player they drop and what player gets a buff or a nerf, right? Because now instead of it being reliant on, like I said, player skill, right, that determines whether a character is broken or not. I'm sorry for that in the background, but instead of player skill being a determinant factor as to why a character is busted or not, or a character is, like a character becomes meta or not, it's buffs and nerfs. And I feel like most games fall into that trap, unfortunately, and Marvel Rivals is no different. And it's typically, that's the way with like a lot of these games nowadays, because it's really more on the keeping the player retention up instead of making a player get better at the game. And I feel like that's where games fuck up at, because it does, like I said, it's really based off of retention. How can I keep you playing longer, right? How can I keep you on the game longer, which will make you want to spend more money on the game, right? Instead of how can I make the player, right? That's a part of the player base. How can I make the player base of my game feel rewarded for putting time and effort into the game? How can I sit there and make my players feel as if they're getting better and they're mastering my game while simultaneously putting in X amount of hours and keeping them retained? And I feel like only very few games in history, which are typically timeless games, are able to do that. Games like Mortal Kombat, right? You feel me? Because it's like that's a game it's a fighting game, a different kind of fighting game. Before you try to get on mine, you feel me? Relax. You know what I'm saying? But that type of game, it found the balance between skills being the reason why you soar, being the reason why you go up, while also keeping the player engaged, because it's always 50-50. You never know, right? Instead of the game being like, okay, well, if you use this character and you spam this move or spam this right here, you'll get a better advantage because that character is going to overpower most of the characters, which is why this season you've seen Guan make everybody OP, so nobody's OP. But instead, that's further hurting the game even more, because now you only pick a certain amount of characters, right, in order to have fun. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for listening to me, yeah. You feel me? As always, I love y'all niggas, man. I appreciate you for watching, man. Do you, for me, be you, put love first, and get money, you heard? Oh yeah, like, follow for more, inshallah.